Nascha Praye
whose space to transmit the songs is established as an area of Guru Prat.
Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Born in the darkness of ignorance, and the spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So how do I connect this? Is there a way to connect? So as we set this up, I just want to express my gratitude to all of you. Thank you, Monil Prabhu, for engaging me in your service. Yeah. You want to use this?
Yes, it's connected.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So I feel really privileged, because ever since I have come here, so I'm new in this country and this city and the temple. So I've been here since January only. So it's been just about 4 months. And I have seen how all of you do bhakti. So I feel really happy the way the youth is engaged here in this temple. So, and the way you all do sadhana, the way you all engage into various activities here, I feel very dwarf among all of you, and I think you are more learned than me, but still you are here to hear me. So, thank you so much. So today we are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9 and Chapter 6 in particular section. So before you proceed, I just want to offer a few prayers. So as we know, Runvata Sada Martya, meaning that every human being is indebted to society. I myself feel indebted to society because I have learned from others, and it's my duty to share unconditionally with others as well. So I feel this is my opportunity to share that whatever I have learned, whatever I have heard. So uh, I feel myself that I'm paying my debt that I have incurred in my life. Also, whatever that we are going to discuss here, it is all coming from our Acharya's commentary, Srila Prabhupada's purport, and all the various devotees who I listen to. So there is nothing mine as such in this. So if you find anything which is very good or good in this, it is all because of their mercy, and all glorification may go to them. If you find any error, mistake in this, any shortcoming, it will be purely mine. So please forgive me. And before I begin, I request all of you to pray for me. So whatever word that comes out of my mouth, may all be nourishing all of us and bring us closer to Sri Radha and Krishna. So we are going to talk about chapter 6 and specific section of downfall of Saubhari Muni. So chapter 6 is basically divided into 6 sections, and we are going to look at the last section. And in particular, we'll go deep into the verse number 51. Okay? So let's all read the translation so that we understand the whole story. I'm sure you have read this, but it's always good to refresh our memory and go into that, right? So we can start from here. One verses translation, Prabhu. Thank you.
Subharishi was engaged in austerity, deep in the water of river Yamuna, when he saw a pair of fish engaged in sexual affairs. Thus he perceived the pleasure of sex life, and induced by the desire, he went to King Mandhata and begged for one of the king's daughters. In response to this request, the king said, "O Brahmana, any of my daughters may accept any husband according to her personal selection."
Now somebody is thinking, yes, Himanshu. Oh, that's okay.
Shabari Muni thought, I am now feeble because of old age. My hair has become grey. My skin is slack and my head always trembles. Besides, I am a yogi, therefore women do not like me. Since the king has thus rejected me, I shall reform my body in such a way as to be desirable even to celestial women. What to speak of the daughters of wealthy kings?
He marries now 50 princesses. You can imagine how he's moving.
Thereafter, when Shaubhani became quite a young and beautiful person, the messenger of the palace took him inside the residential quarters of the princesses, which were extremely opulent. All 50 princesses then accepted him as their husband, although he was only one man.
Thereafter, the princesses, being attracted by Sobarimuni, gave up their sisterly relationship and quarreled among themselves, each one of them contending, "This man is just suitable for me and not for you." In this way, there ensued a great disagreement.
Yeah, see, they all started quarreling right away. Okay, next one.
Because Savarmuni was expert in chanting mantras perfectly, his severe austerities resulted in an opulent home with garment, ornaments, properly dressed and decorated maid servants and men servants, and varieties of parks with clear water, lake, and garden. In the gardens, pregnant with varieties of flowers, birds chirped, and bees hummed, surrounded by professional singers. Sabari Muni's home was amply provided with valuable beds, seats, ornaments, and arrangements for bathing, and there were varieties of sandalwood creams, flower garlands, and palatable dishes. Thus, surrounded by opulent paraphernalia, the Muni engaged in family affairs with his numerous wives.
Mangata, the king of the entire world, consisting of 7 islands, was struck with wonder when he saw the household opulence of Sabari Muni. Thus he gave up his false prestige and his position as the emperor of the world.
In this way, Sabarimuni enjoyed sense gratification in the material world, but he was not at all satisfied, just as a fire never ceases blazing if constantly supplied with drops of fat.
Thereafter, one day, while Saubhara Muni, who was expert in chanting mantras, was sitting in a settled place, he thought to himself about the cause of his fall down, which was simply that he had associated himself with the sexual affairs of the fish.
Alas, while preaching austerity,
Practicing.
huh?
Practicing.
Practicing austerity even within the depth of the water, and while observing all the diesel and regulation practiced by saintly person, I lost the result of my long austerities simply by association with the sexual affair of fish. Everyone should observe this fall down and run from it. Harish.
So we'll read the words because we have to start here. So you can call and respond. I'll sing that. Sangam त्यजेत मिथुना वर्तिना मुमुक्षु
Sangam yajeta miduna vartinam mumukshu
सर्वात्मनान् विसृजेत् बहिरिन्द्रियाणि
sarvatmana vipushe mahirindriyani
एकश्चरण रहसि चित्तमनन्तैषे
ekascharanahasi chittamanantaishe
युञ्जीत तद्व्रतिषु साधुषु चेत् प्रसङ्गः
yunjita bhaktishu sadhushe prasangah.
Okay, let's read the word to word. Sangam,
Sangam,
association.
association,
Tyajeta,
yajeta,
must give up.
must give up,
Mithuna vartinam,
viduna vartinam,
of a person engaged in sexual affairs, legal or illegal.
Of a person engaged in sexual affairs, legal or illegal.
Mumukshu,
Mumushu.
persons who desire liberation.
Persons who desire liberation.
Sarvatmana,
Sarvatmana.
in all respects.
In all respects.
Na,
Na.
do not.
Do not.
Vrisijet,
Vrishit.
employ.
Employ.
Bahi indriyani,
Mahindriyani.
external senses.
External senses.
Ekaha,
Eka.
alone.
Alone.
Charan,
Charan.
moving.
Moving.
Rahasi,
Rahasi.
in a secluded place.
In a secluded place.
Chittam,
Chitta.
the heart.
The heart.
Ananta Ishe,
Ananta Ishe.
fixed at the lotus feet of the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Fixed at the lotus feet of the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yunjita,
Yunjita.
one can engage himself.
One can engage himself.
Tatvartishu,
Tattvatishu.
with persons of the same category desiring liberation from material bondage.
With persons of the same category desiring liberation from material bondage.
Sadhushu,
Sadhushu.
such saintly person.
Such saintly persons.
Chet,
Chet.
if.
If.
Prasangaha,
Prasanga.
one wants association.
One wants association.
So translation, would you like to read? Once you can read, translation.
A person desiring liberation from material bondage must give up the association of persons interested in sex life and should not employ his senses externally in seeing, hearing, talking, walking, and so on. One should always stay in a secluded place, completely fixing his mind at the lotus feet of the unlimited personality of Godhead. And if one wants any association at all, he should associate with persons similarly engaged.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So, in the verse 50, this Sauvarmani is telling his story. If you see in verse 50, Sauvarmani says people should learn from his mistake. So there are 3 ways to learn, right? What are the ways to learn?
My experience.
Huh?
First we see.
First we
others.
See.
Okay, we see and learn. Okay, we hear and learn.
Experience.
Learn by experience.
Learn by experience.
Third one, you never learn.
You never learn. So yeah, so there are 4 days. Okay, we'll add 4th category. So basically, you make mistake, you never learn. Other is here, you make mistake and learn from it. But can we make all the mistakes? We cannot, right? So we have to learn from observation, right? And the best way to learn is learn from the scriptures, because scripture contains all stories, and if we learn from there, our life can be perfected. That's what Saubhari Muni is saying, that he is saying that everybody should learn from that. Everyone should observe this fall down and learn from it. That means we should not practice this and say, oh, let me also try and maybe I'll be successful. I'll be able to control myself. It doesn't work that way, right? So that's what Saubhari Muni is telling here. And I'm glad we are all learning so we can, don't make this mistake again, right? So here we can see that Saubhari Muni is saying that if we want liberation, that is what we are trying for, right? Because if you're human birth, if you see, there is no difference between human and animal if we don't seek liberation, right? Hitopadesh, it says that whatever 4 things that we do, ahara nidra bhai maithunamsya saman etat pashubi narana. If you do this, that is what? Ahar, eating, sleeping, mating and defending. 4 things if you do, that's what everybody does. We are like animals. Only if we seek for liberation, only if we inquire, why am I here? Then only we'll start to find answer and go deeper into that and then say, okay, I want to get out of this material world. So here, Saubhari is saying that if we want liberation, then we must give association of the person who is interested in material life. Material life full of accumulating wealth, enjoying senses, that is material life. If you see, everybody is trying to do that. To enjoy, they want to earn hard, they want to earn more, so they will even work harder. People do double job, so much work they do just for that one vacation that they have planned. And what do they get? Even in vacation, when they go, they have fight and they come back and they are not happy at all. So what's the point, right? So that's what he's saying, that we should not associate with those people, because if we associate with those people, we will also get that color, right? So we should avoid that. That's what he's saying. And what he's saying other, that one should not employ one's senses externally. It's like, Prabhupada gives example of the tortoise. Like tortoise, what it does when something external object comes, he'll retract all the, and then he'll look like a shell, nothing else. So the animal will come and go away. So our senses are like that. They are like external, outward. And then what happens because of that? We get attracted and get entangled. But we should learn from tortoise and we should retract them and go into inward. So what happens because of that? We will not get entangled in this material world. So that's what even Saubhari Muni is suggesting we should not do. Because all these things, seeing, talking, hearing, all these things, nowadays we thought there is no distraction, but we carry the biggest distraction in our pocket, the closest to us, right? And we keep scrolling one after another, and we think I'm hearing Maharaj's video, I'm hearing some Gita, and then in between something comes, and then we are gone, then so much time goes. So therefore we should control. This is a big enemy that we have. And then we should stay in one place, secluded place, and and we should try to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, that is Sri Krishna. And he says, if you want association at all, we all need association. That's what you all are here in Bhakti Academy. I see that you all want Sajati association, those youth who thinks like you, right? Who also want bhakti. You all are here to do that, right? So that's called Sajati association. Then if you want that, then we must come in contact with those people, not with anybody else. Now, may I have a question? I work in office, I work, go out. What do I do? Yeah, we have to interact with people, but that should be only for that purpose, not like the way you spend time, right? So then we don't get that color. Now, we need to understand Saubhari Muni's background, that how this happened. Saubhari Muni was meditating, he was meditating in Yamuna for thousands of years. Then what happened? Everybody knows the background of Saubhari Muni's fall or some story. Okay, I'll quickly just narrate that. So there was an island called Nagalaya in which there are a lot of snakes were living, right? And Kalia was also one of their Kalia. And when Garud will come and he will eat because he likes snakes. So Garud food was snakes, so he will keep eating snakes. And sometimes he will even kill just like that, just like that. So their head Vasuki, he appealed to Brahmaji. He says, "What is this? This is not right. Please do something." So there was an agreement that okay, we will give one snake in one half moon day, and we'll keep it under a tree. Then the Garuda can come and take it. Then that agreement was all right. This is fine. So that was going on nicely. Then Kalia had gathered a lot of poison. So he become popped up. When you get something more, either you get certain ability, somebody singing nice, somebody playing mridanga nice, somebody is dancing nice, then we get popped up. I want to play in the kirtan. I want to be limelight. This kind of thing happens. So the sign of it is like a sign of pride, and when the pride comes, fall is going to be next. We should avoid that. Whatever get, people you see, they have got a lot of wealth. They are so arrogant, right? They speak in such a way that they are the ruler of this world. So Kalia was like that. He was saying that why we should even offer this one snake to Garuda. Maybe I will eat myself. So he was eating it, and Garuda came to know. So Garuda came, and he had a fight with Kalia. Now, when he was fighting with Kalia, Kalia took the shelter in Kalia Daha. Anybody has gone to Vrindavan so far? There's a place called Kalia Daha, if you see, where the Krishna subjugated the Kalia. So I was not aware Kalia Daha, why they call Kalia Daha. But when I read the story, whenever I read this, then in which it is mentioned. This story comes in chapter 17 in Krishna book, in which it is mentioned. So Kalia Daha, where he took shelter in the Yamuna. And when Garuda came, then Garuda, we should go back further, that Garuda was also coming to Kalia Daha to eat fish. And eating fish, the Savari Muni was meditating in the Yamuna under the water. So he became very cozy with the fishes, and fish will go around and Kali, Savari Muni thought, I'm the protector of these fishes. He felt like that. And when Garuda came once and he took up the big fish, which was the head of the fish, and he was taken. So all the fish came and cried. Savari Muni cursed that if you ever come in this pond again in Kaliyada, you will die. So Savari Muni cursed Garuda, who is a Vaishnav. So what happened because of that? And Kalia knew about this. Therefore, Kalia took shelter in Kaliyada so that Garuda doesn't come. So Garuda did not come. But what happened because of that? Kalia came, so many fishes died because of poison. It is mentioned in Bhagavatam that, when Kalia was there, 2 kilometers above any bird fly, they will also die. It was so poisonous. So because Saubhari Muni cursed Garuda, he did a Vaishnava Aparadh. And because of that, though he was meditating underwater, there was no distraction at all. Just think about this. He was in a water where nobody would come, still his fall down happened. So this is the reason why he fell down like this. Okay. So now let's look some interactions, questions. So give you an example where the plant sacrificial was offered. Anybody? Like, they were giving one snake every fortnight. So any example where something like this was done from our scripture? Something was offered. Okay, we'll give it to you. Don't come and eat, everybody. Yes. Yeah, something.
It was not sacrifice, but it was a yajna.
Huh?
Like in Vietnam, they used to do Indra Puja every year, like that. Like
No,
the
here we are
people-
speculely talking exactly similar situation where they are giving snake.
Snake. Okay.
Jai has raised his pen.
I remember there was a village in which every month a person was sent to a demon in a cave. And Bhima came to know about this and he voluntarily went okay, I'll see, I'll take care of it. And everyone
Yes.
was like we cannot send you, we
Yeah.
are very precious to us. He still went. And
Correct, you're right. So when Pandava is in exile, Pandava is sent in the forest. This is what happened. So yes, Bakasur was killed by Bhimsen exactly like this. So when the King Kunti and all the five Pandavas took shelter in one of the Brahmans' home, and they were not aware of the things, and they were crying. The mother was crying. Then Kunti Maharani asked, "What happened?" And she explained this situation, and then there is a demon called Bakasur. He comes and eat one person. So today I have to send my son. So she was crying. She said, "Don't worry, I'll send." No, no, no. How can you? You are my guest. You cannot send it. Then she said, "No, no. I have 5 sons. I will send one. Don't worry." He sent Beam, and Beam goes and it. And we know the story. We will not go there because we have to discuss some more points. So this is uh, how the Saubhari Muni fall down started. So now let's understand that what happens here, okay? Because this is such an important lesson for everybody. Because when we get associated, the kind of association we also get our mindset like that. And Saubhari Muni become like this because he was associating with fish. He thought, I am the protector, and therefore Garud cannot come and eat fish, which is his right to eat because he's a Garud. So they will have to eat what? If you tell lion not to eat deer, I mean, that's not going to work, right? That's how Jiva Jiva se Jivanam. So every Jiva depends on other living entity like that. So when Saubhari Muni was meditating under the water, he saw that two fishes are mating. And just by looking at that, he was under the water for 10,000 years, thousands of years. You can imagine thousands of years, he's underwater, no distraction. But because he did the Vaishnava Aparadh, even this, because we all see this kind of mating happening between birds and all that around us, but we don't get agitated. How come Saubhari Muni, who is such a great rishi, meditating underwater, got distracted? Because of this aparadh, that so we can understand Maya is so powerful, dear devotees, that anytime it can entangle us. We think it will come in the most casual situation. No, I am perfectly protected. And in that situation, Maya will come and take us. And my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Singh Maharaj always says that Maya is as powerful as Krishna. As powerful as Krishna. So you can imagine, if Krishna is so powerful, this is Krishna's Shakti, Krishna's external potency. So he's going to drag us. And in fact, when we make the plans for defeating Maya, Maya is listening. so, so, okay, you're making this plan, then all right, I'm going to do something as well to counter that plan. So we have to be aware of that. So that's what happened. Now, in Bhagavatam, okay, my restart is going to start, not, yes, yeah. So in Bhagavatam, there is one shlok comes where it talks about Balvan Indriya Gramo Vidvams Abhi Karshati. Even though one may be very advanced, he may be attracted by sex. Any example like from scripture where somebody got attracted like this? Yes. Huh? Brahmaji, yeah, we can say that, but it was a pastime, different pastime. Yes, wanted Prabhu, yes. A Jamil, but he was a Brahman. But we are talking about somebody who was really exalted.
There was a Muni, I don't remember the name.
Okay, Muni, you remember. So he will tell the Muni now.
Shiva.
Lord Shiva, Mohini Murti. Yeah, those are for teaching all of us. He did that Leela. Any other example? I thought that was very famous Rishi. Vishwamitra Rishi, anybody? Just by hearing the ankle bells, Urvashi, he got attracted. So we can imagine he's Rishi meditating. But still, this is so powerful, and we have to be very careful about this thing. If these rishis can fall down with this sense, what to speak of us. Therefore, it is recommended, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that we should associate with very exalted devotees. That's what he says, that sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kai, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. We should associate with devotees because that's where we get color. If we associate with materialistic people, Vishayi people, then what will happen? We'll also become like that. And this has to be done on a regular basis. Every time we do, we have to do that. Right? So whoever we connect with, we are going to get infected. If you connect with somebody who got corona a couple of years ago, you'll get corona. Right? We were all wearing masks. Right? Why? To protect ourselves. And that's the reason why we should associate with the temple. You all have very blessed youth because you have association in the temple. You always meet the devotees, interact with the devotees. You have a guidance from the senior devotees giving you the direction, how to do, what to do, and all that. So make use of this time. I feel that I am a little late in this journey because I started very late in my life. But I feel very happy when youth get connected with this process. So it's very nice. So let's do another quiz. In Sadhu Sangha, we talked about. Give me some examples where, just by association of the devotees, they become great devotees.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj, whose association he got? He was in the Pandavas family, so he always there. We are talking about somebody who was not a devotee.
Oh.
Let's stay. Okay, yeah. Okay, Dhruv Maharaj. Brigari, yes, Brigari. Yes. Brigari Dhruv Maharaj.
Also, Narad Muni, when in his previous life.
Yes, Narad Muni, his previous life, is got it. He was associated with the Mahabhagavad 4 months in the Chaturmas. He ate the remnants and he got that. Brigari, okay. What else? Dhruv Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, yes. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was in the Kayadu's womb, he was in Narad Muni's ashram for 100 years. And he was listening when Narad Muni was giving the story of, all the Harikatha. What else? From Ramayana, anybody? Ratnakar Daku became Valmiki. right? He was a Daku, and he became a Valmiki Rishi later on after coming in contact with Narayana. So we can see this power of association. Even a little bit of association can empower us. But what kind of association? Association is, we associate with so many people, but our mood should be that we want to learn, we want to absorb from them, and then the progress happens. Just by association, nothing is going to change drastically. We also have to put our endeavor, efforts are required from our side as well. So that's what it is said. Because this world, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. If you are trying to enjoy in this world, regardless of what we do, how much money we have, how much opulence we have, it's all going to bring miseries. The most miserable people in this world are the richest people in this world and the famous people in the world. They are the most miserable. There's a famous actor who's talked about this, saying that I want everybody to become rich and famous because then they will know that this is not which will give them happiness. I don't know who said, but I'm just. So you can imagine, even if you become rich and famous, which is what everybody is trying to do, we are not going to get happiness. Therefore, instead of going after the wealth and prestige and all that, we should focus and go more inside, more internal, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, by hearing Harikatha. And more we do, it will only help us become more closer to Krishna. And we'll be tested. As we progress, we'll also be tested by Maya as we progress. But yes, with association, we can come out. So, yes, in Bhagavatam it is mentioned, Sayeva sadhushu kruto moksha dwara anavritam, apavritam. So that means that when we associate with the devotees, when we associate with sadhus, then moksha dwara gets opened for us. And therefore that association becomes very, very key. Prabhupada always gave priority to association than even chanting. Prabhupada said we should associate with the right people than chanting. Because the moment we come in contact with association, good association, whatever they do, we also do. When we see somebody is chanting and we are just moving around this, we are also a devotee. Then we see Guru Maharaj is chanting. Will we not start chanting? Immediately our hand will go in the bid bag, right? Why? Because not because of fear, but we see an association. So that's important. Because if you just keep chanting, that's like, you're trying to do on your own. But we are not like Haridas Thakur, who can just chant, chant, and chant. But we need association, we need empowerment, we need that mood of connection that can come from that. So that's why we should try to connect with the sadhu. If you try to go with the material thing, then we'll become like that. I have personally seen it that when we try to earn more money, put more efforts and all that, we just put effort but don't get satisfaction. Absolutely no satisfaction. Yeah. So that's what it says. Therefore, in a purport, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, see, this is a very beautiful verse that Mahaprabhu has mentioned in the purport. Prabhupada's, here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Niskinchanasya bhagavad bhajano mukhasya. So, yeah, you can just write. Bhajano mukhasya param param jigamisor bhavasagarasya. Sandarshanam Vishainam Atayoshitam cha. Ha hanta hanta Vishabhak Santopyathadu. So you can see that this is what is told to Raghunath Das Goswami. He is telling, that for a person who seriously designed to cross material ocean and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeing a materialistic engage in the sense gratification and seeing a woman who is similarly interested is more abominable than drinking poison willingly. You can imagine, he's telling drinking poison willingly, it is less. This is so dangerous. This is so dangerous. So therefore, we should try to avoid association with the non-devotees. We have to do it like when we do book distribution, we have to associate. That's required because there we are trying to do a service to them, to the souls who can get engaged somehow or other. So that's what. Therefore, it is mentioned now in our scripture also. He says, Shrunotam Sakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantosi Hai Bhadrani Vidunoti Shtuasatam. We should always listen to Harikatha. Like you all live in the temple, right? You all do various service, you all do your sadhana, you go out and work sometimes, you do voluntary activity. But you also should spend a lot of time in hearing Harikatha, hear from devotees, hear on the YouTube. Now we have access to that. You can listen to all this thing because that will help, go more deeper into this. Then what happens? Our vidunoti, all anarthas will cleaned by hearing. The two things are very important. One is chanting and hearing. And of course, when we do seva, that's wonderful. But hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, which are very important at the very base of our bhakti. Therefore, we should hear all the time. Otherwise, it's become very difficult. If those who do not have the ability to hear or who do not like to hear Harikatha, they make very small or very little progress in bhakti. But those who have interest in hearing Harikatha, they make progress by leaps and bounds. So therefore, we should spend more time in hearing. And hearing is not like we are also doing some activity and then hearing. That is not. When we hear, we should hear only. One anga at a time. Bhakti anga has got so many, like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, like that. We have 9 anga, but we should do one activity at a time with intensity. Like when we hear, make notes. I know all of you, when you hear, you make notes and all that, which is very wonderful. Because that's how it should be. No distraction at that time. We all know how the magnifying glass, the sunlight cannot burn a paper or a dry grass. But when the same rays passes through magnifying glass, what happens? They burn because that get concentrated. Therefore, do one anga at a time. Many times, we have chanting also remaining. We hear sometimes, or somebody's chanting is going on, and we keep doing that. That's not. We should hear our own sound. That's beneficial. Then we know whether I'm making mistake or not. We are hearing Maharaj chanting. Maharaj chant nicely, but we may not be able to chant so nicely. We should hear our own voice and see if I'm making any mistake. Is my pronunciation correct? Like that. I'll give my example. When I was chanting, I wake up early and my daughter used to sleep and she was hear me in US. So she told me once, Daddy, you are eating one ram. I said, oh God, is it like she was hearing at 4 o'clock? And I said, okay. Then I recorded myself. And I realized that when I try to do a little speedy, then I will eat one ram and then I had to correct myself. So when you have to hear yourself as well, and that will correct our mistakes. So that's how it is. We should do that. Right. So now, when we take Krishna's name, when we help Krishna hear his own name through us, Krishna will hear us next time when we ask for something. If you don't, sometimes people say, I'm chanting. They are not hearing their own voice and they expect Krishna to hear their voice. How is that going to work? You don't want to hear your own voice, but you want Krishna to hear. Krishna, please listen to me. But you are not hearing your own sound. How is that going to work? So we should pray nicely, submissively, chant very attentively so that Krishna will hear. And when we call Krishna, Krishna will come. He really comes. Many times we feel like, yesterday, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu in the Q&A session, he was mentioning, right, that Krishna may not give you just favorable things. He will give you unfavorable things also. He'll give you pains and problems because in every situation you will come closer. You remember that example he gave? In the circle, he said, you will get this. Yeah, all those things he was giving. So not only the pleasure will bring you close to Krishna, even in distress you can come close to Krishna because you will chant intensely. Krishna wants all of us to come close to him, and so he will give you various situations through which we can go close to him. It may not be favorable to us, may not be palatable to us, saying, yeah, this is a good situation. Krishna, why miseries? But in miseries we are chanting so nicely. Krishna says, okay, I'll give you this more. If you chant nicely during good time, then I'll probably give you good time also. So that's how we should read Krishna's message. Sometimes we may not be able to understand. Therefore, in Bhagavatam it is mentioned, we can see, Pravishtam Karna Randrena Swanam Bhava Saroruham. The sound vibration, sound incarnation of Lord, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, that is we have to heed hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Always hear Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many scriptures and all that, so many things we can read, but we should focus on, specifically three books: Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. If we focus on these, our lifetime is perfected. But because of the information overload which is going on, we have so much to read, I have so many lectures to hear. We are going nowhere actually. But if we focus on reading, I want to go systematic study, like some of you are doing Bhakti Shastri, right? Systematic study of books, which is very nice. We should do that. Bhagavatam, when you finish that, you can go to Bhakti Vaibhav, systematic study of Bhagavatam, and that gives us more purification. So it is very much important for all of us. Yeah. And we have seen that when our senses are uncontrolled, to control senses, this hearing and chanting is very much required. When our senses are uncontrolled, what happens? We have seen example that one sense of particular animal brings them to death. One sense, right? What are those senses? Deer by hearing. If deer has to be captivated, what they do? They play nice music, deer will come close to them and they will hunt it. The deer is gone, right? What happened to fish? Just put a bait, nice bait, and fish will come and eat. One sense, just eat something. Then what happens to bee? Bee is in the smell of the pollen and in the lotus, and bee is stuck there. He's not coming out, and the lotus closes in the night, in the evening, and he is stuck and dies there, just for one. Similarly, for a moth or a butterfly, what they do? They go towards the fire and they get burned themselves. So one sense is killing them. Our all senses are so active. So you can imagine how much danger we have. Right? We are very much in a very precarious condition. If we are not able to control these senses, then definitely we have to take birth again. And we may not get this human body depending on our remembrance at the time of death, whatever karma that we have done, we will take that birth. So what to speak? If this birth is not utilized in the service of Krishna, in remembering and service Krishna and his devotees, then we are losing out the most important opportunity that we have got in this life. Yeah. So then once, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu also telling Raghunath Das Goswami, he's saying that, so what to do? We should just stop enjoying? No, it is not like that. It is not. Mahaprabhu says, what he says that, see, Yatha Yogya Vishaya Bhunja Anasakta Haya. Meaning said, enjoy material world in a befitting, limited way. But don't get attached to that. What happens today that we want to enjoy, but we get attached to that. And then that's a problem. If I don't get it, then I have a problem. If I don't read this, I have a problem. If I don't see this, I have a problem. No. We should do it in a limited way. Because we cannot be completely dry. The bhakti, Krishna bhakti is not like a dry thing. We have to enjoy that. Right? Enjoyment can come when we come with the Sajatiya people, have nice prasad together, have nice dancing, kirtan. We all can do that. No problem with that. Right? But if you want to enjoy anything materially, in a very small way, not to like anything, just like that. Yeah, sometimes we are eating prasadam in mandir, temple, because many devotee comes and make. We also came and made one day, and you all had very disappointed because there was no salt, or because we had very little salt in that day, so maybe it was not braised. Like that, it happens with you, right? So someday you say, okay, I want to eat in Govinda. Yeah, go ahead and eat once. That's fine, but not like I want to eat every day in Govinda. Not like that, you know. Sometimes people just want to enjoy. I want to eat pizza. Yeah, have it once in a month, and that's fine, you know. Because the more you try to enjoy opulence, what happens? We get addicted to that. We get addicted, you know. I remember my daughter, when I will make khichdi, and she will think that, Daddy, why khichdi? I don't like it. And now she's alone in Atlanta, and she makes khichdi herself. So point is that, that we want to eat opulent food all the time, but when situation comes, you will be forced to eat only simple prasad. So that's how it is. So world is like that. Therefore, what Did Kunti Mahani prayed? Kunti Mahani said, Shrunvanti Gayanti Grinanta Bhikshana Smaranti Nandanti Tave Hitam Jana. So we should always hear about Krishna. Clear, hear, chant, all this. This is what will give us solace. When Kunti Maharani and Pandavas interested, they were always thinking about Krishna all the time. It was not a single time. That's what she is saying. Give me more and more problems in the life so I can remember you, Krishna. We cannot ask for that. We cannot say, give me miseries, Krishna. Then we will be miserable. Because we don't see miseries as mercy. But Kunti Maharani saw miseries as mercy. Because they were able to remember Krishna. Krishna was among them when miseries or difficulties came in their life. Every time Krishna saved them. So she's asking more misery because she get more Krishna with them. Our life is not like that. So we can say, Krishna, this is enough. But remember, Krishna only gives that much pain to all of us that we can bear. He will not give more than that. So Krishna is also very merciful. He gives limited thing. Therefore, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu says, Asatta Sangha Tyaga Ei Vaishnavachar. We should avoid the association of materialistic people. Very important. Saubhari Muni left everything, doing tapasya under Yamuna, in the water. But he got association of fishes. And he was not hearing anything. And therefore this problem happened. So even if you're trying to do tapasya in a secluded place, you are going to have problems. And it is not for this yuga. This meditation was there in Satyuga. Meditation was in Satyuga. Then people were doing sacrificial ceremony, sacrifice. Then came Paricharya, Dwapari Paricharya, means doing deity worship. And now in this, only chanting. This is the only thing that we have. So we have to only chant, attentively chant, hear submissively, Harikatha, and that will perfect our life. We don't have to do anything else. No Ashtanga Yoga needs to be done. It's not required. Right? Because if we do this, what happens? When we leave our body, that's what we will remember. Right? Krishna says, Yam Yam Yapi Smaran Bhavam Tyaja Tante Kalevaram. Right? So we should always think like that. And there is a beautiful example that comes of Bharat Maharaj. Everybody knows this story, Bharat Maharaj, right? That Bharat Maharaj, who attached to the deer, he was thinking about all the time, deer, deer, deer. And what happens at the time of death? He said, oh, who will take care of this deer? And then what happened? He became deer. Luckily, unfortunately, he, his father, Rishabdev, gave them the knowledge that what this life should be. So therefore, he was able to meditate on those, and then next life he became a deer, but he was visiting ashram only, not going around and all, eating uchista. So in the next life, he became Jad Bharat. And then he knew that I made this mistake, so this life I am going to perfect myself. He did not do anything. So therefore, he remembered why he was able to remember. So therefore, devotees are protected by Krishna because we have given them some bhajan. We are trying to give something back to Krishna, right? So even if we make mistake, there is a possibility that we will have to take birth again. We will have to, but we should try to get out of this world as quickly as possible. As His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj says, that please give this one life to Krishna. Please give this one life to Krishna. We have taken millions of births. We have become dogs and donkeys and cats and everything. We don't know. We don't remember. But Krishna remembers. So give one life to Krishna and see. Just one life. Because that's what it is mentioned. Nayam deho de bhajam nirloke. Everybody has accepted material bodies in this world. Tapo devyam yukta yena sattvam means we should engage in the austerity, meaning we should chant Krishna's name. We should become, we are controlling our senses. That itself is austerity. Controlling senses is not a big thing. It's not a small thing. It's so huge. Like we don't go out for movies in theater. We don't go out and eat in restaurants. We give up eating non-vegetarian items because people relish it so much. We don't eat all these things. So that's a big austerity, right? So, but we should do that because that will help us in perfecting our lives. Because we end with this one last shloka where it is mentioned that samavritta ye padapallavam pallavam mahat padam punya yasho murare. So we can see that we should try to serve Krishna in whichever way we can, and then we can perfect our life. Because everybody is getting taken care by Krishna. Everybody, right? Everybody is taken care by Krishna. Labdva sudurlabhidam bahu sambhavante. This is a quote verse quoted by um, His Holiness, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Sabri Thakur many times. Verse number is 11.9.29. I think we made a mistake here in the typo. So, after many births and deaths, we have achieved this rare human form of life, dear devotees. It is temporary because it is going to dwindle in some time, but whichever time that we have, we can perfect our life. We don't have to worry. And since you all live in the ashram, you may have some favorable, unfavorable situation at times, right? You have to do a lot of seva, you are tired, you're fatigued, and still you have to do all this. Still, it is favorable in a way for bhakti. So maybe physically it is unfavorable. And just quick two example. Sant Namdev, you heard of these names probably, Sant Tukaram, right? Namdev had a beautiful wife and she was also a devotee. So he had no problem. When Tukaram had a wife, who will always quarrel with him. But both were doing bhajan very amazingly. So in regardless of which condition we are, we should do our bhajan, favorable or unfavorable. When we do an unfavorable, it is like, this Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, he mentions that, when he was living in ashram as a brahmachari, he was giving an example that's like potatoes. When you put it into churning, when potatoes they come together, the skin goes away and they all become what? They become white and shiny. So similarly, when you come together, you will have problems, difference of opinions, you will have sometimes quarrel, all these things happen. But at the end, what's going to happen? You will come out as a very effulgent person. You will become a very new person that you will see. You have never seen that before, right? So always remain together, serve each other with love and dedication, and you'll see great thing coming out. Yeah. So with this, we will pause here, and I would like to thank Mohanil Prabhu for engaging me in this service. If there are any shortcomings, please forgive me, dear devotees. Vancha kalpatarupyasya kripa sindhu patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Kodimeshwar ki jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।